Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, April 5th, 2015. I'm Katie of Nekozuki Yarns, and this is the Nekozuki Yarns podcast. I'm coming to you from a snowy day in Calgary again, which is why there's a little bit brighter as well. There's a lot more reflection off of the snow. Yeah, it started like yesterday afternoon, and we only got about, well, I'd say less than half an inch, so not very much, but it's still annoying because it's the first weekend in April and we have snow, of course. I want to welcome anybody new who's come to watch. This is a knitting podcast mostly. And anybody who's returning, I really appreciate you guys all hanging out with me for the time that I chat at you from your computer or your iPad or whatever. I hope you've pulled up some knitting and yeah, that you enjoy with me. I do, sorry, increases are getting lost, there we go. I actually got quite a bit done over the last couple weeks. I don't have much sewing, and I'm really sorry that I didn't get the update posted 2 weeks ago. My motivation levels right now, like, they're usually up here and they've just plummeted. There's been lots of life change recently, and we've been really busy with just everything. Which I know is not going to change. So I really apologize for missing the update a couple weeks ago. There will be an update. Half will be going up today, half will be going up tomorrow, Monday, April 6th. The stuff going up today will go up at 4 p.m. Mountain Daylight Savings Time, or 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And I have a feeling that that will be after this is posted, or before this is posted actually. YouTube takes a really long time to process everything. But it will be going up. So watch for that. It's all the pouches I showed you last week, plus the box bags and the couple of wedge bags. And then I'm working on new stock, which will be going up here in the next, well, obviously not this week. It's not even done yet. So it'll be going up in 2 weeks' time. I'll start trying to do updates every couple weeks instead of every month, just so it's not so daunting. Like, I have a lot of pouches to post and lots of photos. Anyway, I know not all of you are here for shop update news. I just want to apologize up front about that because, yeah, that's completely my fault and just my lack of motivation right now. But it will be going up. I did get all the photographs done for everything yesterday, and I'm just going through and like editing the posts and such. Okay, so at least you've all had a chance to have a look if you're interested. But let's get on to the knitting, because I actually did get quite a bit worked on. I got Dallas's socks past the heel turn. This is the first top-down heel turn I've ever done, and I'm actually very pleased. I don't have any obvious holes that I can see, which is awesome. Oh, I guess the foot goes this way actually. And yeah, no, it just looks really nice and smooth. This is Sweet Georgia Yarns Tough Love Sock, which is an 80/20 superwash nylon blend. I'm using US 1 2.25mm needles. I don't remember the color name. For some reason I don't have the tag here. I've looked it up and I think it's either slate or charcoal. Which might all depend on dye lots and everything like that as well. Anyway, they're past the heel turn. I think I was still up here last time, so I got quite a bit done on them. The only problem is that the glue has malfunctioned on the tips of my needles. So the tip actually comes off. So I have another pair here. I had to go get a new pair yesterday, and I'm going to switch them over and then find out if these are covered under warranty or not, because that's really annoying. I've only had them since November. Granted, well, they haven't been that high use. And I do have other ones, but I don't like them as much. So yeah, I'll just transfer them onto a new pair and see if these are covered so that I can get in, like, replacement. Anyway, that's them. I'm really happy with that. I thought I might get them done this week, but that didn't happen. I actually got caught up in other things that I'm working on, so that's good. Okay, so this is almost an FO, like, literally just a few minutes worth of work. The Owllipped Cardigan, well, sweater, I guess, by Kate Davies. This is the baby version of the owls, which you can see here. I know, I've got ends all over the place, but it's so cute. So ridiculously adorable. This is the 6-month size. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 owls. So cute. That was knit on the pattern needles. I don't have them with me because it's finished, so I didn't write it down. And it's out of Cascade 128 Superwash, which is a 100% superwash merino wool, 100 grams, 128 yards. And it's just going to be a number of a colorway. I don't even know what it is. 1948. So I'm calling it Amethyst because the little one that's going to is going to be born in June, and Amethyst is the birthstone. Okay, what else am I working on? Quite a bit. I got caught up. I've been fighting with this yarn. It's stash yarn that I had from one of Dallas's cardigans back a couple of years ago now. And I've been fighting to figure out a design with it, so I finally just went, like, because it's dark. It's Forest Heather. It's actually showing pretty well. There. This part in here is definitely closer until then. And I was trying to pattern, and I was trying cables, and it just, like, everything that I was doing would work really well in this yarn in a lighter color. So I decided, I've got 4 skeins in stash. I knew I wanted a cropped cardigan, and I'm just doing something simple. So this is going to be a design that'll go up later. This is mostly for me though, because then I matched Dallas. You've actually seen the cardigan. It's the green one that I've worn a couple times on the podcast. It's the Emmeline. And yeah, so this is Cascade 220 on US 8s, and it will be going up for test as soon as I get it done and graded. This is the sample right now. And then the last thing I'm working on, I'm going to check the pattern name here before I pull it up. It's right back here too, so yeah, okay. So this is the Lizzie dress by Tyga Hilliard, and I'm not very far. I only started this on Wednesday, but it's really pretty. It's got this really delicate little lace right here. So this is the top, and it's being knit out of Manos del Uruguay Alegria, this one right here, and it is 75% superwash merino, 25% polyamide, which is basically nylon, and the color is A401. Now I didn't realize this up until I actually like started using it, but that Manos del Uruguay is a non-profit organization which assembles women in cooperatives scattered throughout the countryside of Uruguay. The aim of the organization is to bring economic and social opportunities to rural women. And the really cool thing about this is it tells you where and who dyed it. So I thought that was really awesome. And I have, if I can get the other tag here, like, they're both from the same location, but they're 2 different people who did them, I think. Oh. I think that's 2 different people. I can't read the handwriting very well. But so that was the first one, and that's the second one. Pretty sure it's 2 different people. Anyway, I thought that was really cool, and it's definitely something that will spur me to actually use the yarn more often. Because I think that's a really cool detail. And so the Lizzie dress is for a special little girl who's having a birthday here soon. And that's the finished project. So there's a whole bunch of lace around the top, and then it goes down into the skirt and the lace at the bottom. Super cute. I'm super excited to see how it goes, and I'm loving this yarn. It's so soft. Like, it's some of the softest I've ever used. And the size that I'm knitting doesn't take the whole, like, second skein, so I think I might have enough for at least ankle socks, which would be amazing. I also love the color. It's that A401, but it's really nice caked up. Just like super nice muted kind of purple blues. It's actually a little bit more vivid in person than it is on camera. Not typical baby colors, which is nice. I try to stay away from what you consider typical because, yeah, they're not mini adults, but some difference is nice. Speaking of baby stuff, I'm actually going to show this too because it's going away. I'm taking it up to my friend today, but I figured you would want to see it. This is the Cadence Cardigan. So this is the 18-month size. Super cute. I love how it turned out. I love the slip stitches in this variegated. One thing I will say, because this has happened both times I've worked with, okay, sorry. This is Sweet Georgia Yarns Merino Silk Aran. It's a 50-50 blend. It has been discontinued, but it's basically, it's a very, well, it's a worsted slash Aran, so it's a heavy worsted, and it's super squishy, and you can basically replace it with Cascade 220 or another blend of this type. I think Lantern Moon just said, they have Indochine, but I don't know if that's worsted or not. Anyway, every time that I've worked with Sweet Georgia yarns in this colorway, because I've worked with it before actually, it's zigzagged, the color pooling, which I thought was really cool. It actually did this in the, this zigzag in the swatch, so I was really hoping it would do it in the actual project, and it did. So, yeah, this is up for test currently. You can find all the details in the Rav group, and just super simple. Like, and it's knit flat. I love these buttons. I love the buttons because they sparkle. And the flowers. Knit flat, and then the sleeves are picked up and knit round, just a little bit of like reverse stockinette to kind of match the top. It's not that noticeable, that's not garter. Yeah, let me know. I have testers for almost all the sizes except for 18 and 24 months. And this is 18 months, so I would really appreciate one for 24 months. And this is not applied I-cord, but that is a design secret, so go take a look. And I'll get some live modeling photos, even though she's only going to be a year. Yeah, I made it big because the last couple of things I've made have been small, and she hasn't had a chance to really, like, put them to the best use that she could. Which, yeah. And then, oh, and that was knit on US 9's 5.5 millimeter. All the way because it wasn't in the round. And there's no ribbing, which is nice. Okay, and then the second thing that was a work in progress last week and is now finished are my mittens. Fingerless mitts with a picot bind off. These are the spring quilted fingerless mitts. They are also currently in testing, so if you want to test them, let me know. They come in 2 sizes, 7-inch and 8-inch. I really like how it all kind of like pulled together. This yarn is like so squishy. Like, I have enough left over for a pair without the picot bind off, I'm pretty sure. So I'm definitely making myself a pair. And it's Zen Yarn Garden Serenity DK. I saw some Serenity DK the other day and it didn't seem quite as, it looked applied differently, so I'm not sure if it's still the same one. Like I said, I lost this tag like ages ago. I know it's Zen Yarn Garden because it was expensive and it stuck out, and that's probably why I took the tag off, is so no one else would know how much it cost, and then promptly lost it. But yeah, it is, I'm pretty sure it's DK. That's what the wraps per inch tool told me when I checked it, because I wanted to make sure since it's going into a pattern. Okay, so I'm coming up on the break in my film, so I'm going to break right here because I still have quite a bit to show you actually. I've got some stash enhancement this week. And the books that I've read this week. So bear with me. You won't know the difference pretty much except for change of head positions here. Alright, one moment. Okay, and we're back. Alright, so we just finished with the mittens. I didn't work on the color affection this week. It hasn't gotten any love, but I do need to start cracking on that. Got lots of other stuff done at least. Alright, stash enhancement. So I needed, yes, I didn't really have any stitch markers around the house yesterday, and going through and doing notions pouch shots without like notions doesn't really make sense, especially since these are a new size, so I needed to actually like experiment with how much they fit. The only thing they don't fit is a regular pair of like kids needles, so they do fit a pair of embroidery scissors. Or like small pair of scissors, which in the end of it all is not a big deal for some people, I don't think, at least not for me. But anyway, I went down to the Loop in Kensington, which is my local yarn shop, and got a whole bunch of pretty stitch markers. So there's those pink and purple ones, The pink, okay, so I'll show you these ones first because these are my favorite actually. I got sheeps. So there's a half dozen sheep and they're currently in my project that I'm working on right now with the Cascade 220. And the sheep come from Sea Turtle Designs now, or Design, sorry. Now if you have been watching since the beginning, I got some of her yarn for Christmas from Santa. And yeah, so Sea Turtle Design, and you can, she's got her itty bitty Etsy shop name right there. I will link to these in the show notes because my hand is all over the place right now. But it's etsy.com/shop/SeaTurtleDesign. And then, okay, so the sheep came from Sea Turtle Design. And then the remainder of these, which are like these really cool like metallic ones, this pink and purple. Those ones are really cool. And then these clear kind of glass ones, they're all glass, at least as far as I can tell. The other one's like, I love this one. I think that's my second favorite, besides the sheep. If it shows. There we go. So all of those ones, all these other ones, besides the sheepies, came from Purple Gecko Studio. And so these ladies are both out of Calgary as far as I know. Actually, I don't know about Sea Turtle Design, but Purple Gecko specifically says she's out of Calgary. And she's purplegeckostudio.etsy.com. Again, I will link these in the show notes because I'm all over the place with their cards. Yeah, I've never had these like wire loop ones before, so they're really cool. I'm really enjoying them actually, although I do have to say that I do miss them once in a while because they're so thin compared to what I'm used to working with. Like, I don't know if you saw on Dallas's socks, I'll pull them up. I'm used to like these bigger ring markers that are a lot more obvious. But whatever, they're cute. I've got sheep stitch markers, I can't complain. Okay, and I did actually buy some yarn for the next design, because I got a really nice coat in the fall, well, right around Christmas actually, just before Christmas, and it's got these really nice green and blue tones, and it's too fancy for mittens, or at least any of the mittens I have currently, and so I wanted a pair of gloves. So, but it's got tones of blue and green, so I ended up with one of both. These are both gorgeous. I was looking for a nice green, kind of in the tones of this, but lighter, because this is worsted. I didn't want that heavy for mittens, and this was going into something else, and I knew that. So this is like perfect, and that's a bit blown out. It's more, this is showing very hunter green. This is more emerald, I would say. It's Sweet Georgia yarns. I love Sweet Georgia yarns. They're so awesome. 100% superwash merino wool. It's their superwash DK base. And the colorway is English Ivy. So yeah, that'll make a nice pair of mittens. It's not a heavy DK. So I'm excited for it. It looks mostly semi-solid. Well, it's definitely semi-solid. Pretty much. There's not much color variegation in that. You can't even see that on the film. Well, I guess it's not film, on the recording. So there's that. And then this one is Malabrigo Arroyo, I guess. I think Malabrigo's Spanish. Please let me know if it's not, or if it is. I would greatly appreciate it. I know Sweet Georgia Yarns is out of Vancouver, because you can go see her studio there. Anyway, this is Malabrigo, and it is Azul's 856, and it is a variegated, kind of, slash semi-solid. I think that's closer to a variegated. It's also, as far as I can tell, their DK base, because it had the same stitch count, and it is, oh, sport weight, I guess it says it right there. It is super soft, and I love it, and it'll be good for gloves. So I have a feeling I'll end up with 2 pairs of gloves, because I was standing there and I was like, well, it's green and blue, so I can have one for each time that I feel, well, whatever I feel like wearing. Also, speaking of what I'm wearing, I am actually wearing a hand knit. This is the Marrying Cardigan by Andy Sutherland. This is the second garment I knit. I knit this back in, whatchamacallit, April of 2013. Because I wanted it to go over my dress for my brother's wedding. So it's got this really sweet cable detail down the front, and then it's a little bit of cable detail in the sleeves. It is a cropped cardigan, so it's perfect if you like wearing like 50s styles dresses and stuff. I wear a lot of pinup girl clothing, and this like goes over top of it. And it's actually really nice over jeans too, and just a regular shirt. And yeah, second, it's Cascade 220 US 8 5.0 millimeter needles, just like what I'm knitting right now. And then the brooch is cat brooch that I inherited from my grandma. I think it's mother of pearl. I'm not 100% sure, but it suits. It goes really well with most of my outfits as well. A little bit of dress up. Okay, so I actually, most of what took up my time, I didn't get much sewing done this week at all. I got lots of ironing and a little bit of cutting done. Well, no, a little bit of cutting and a little bit of sewing done. I got lots of zippers installed. Those first two parts always take me the longest. Okay, and so anyway, I did read a lot this week. I finished Song of the Basilisk by Patricia McKillop, which was the one I was reading last time I chatted with you. And then I've read and finished Princess of Glass by Jessica Day George, which is the second in the Princess of the Midnight Ball series. She's got a trilogy. There's one more, and I really like how she it wasn't the same characters, but it carried forward the story of the characters from the other book, which was nice. I finally read Fairest by Marissa Meyer, and I was very happy with it. I like, I'm not big into the villain rationalization stories, but I do like them having a reason, and she's got a good enough reason. And yeah, that one actually kind of shocked me, just with, it's a lot more brutal than the rest of the books are in the series. Like, still really good, but what happens isn't off stage, which, granted, it isn't really in the main series, like, not the main series, but I guess like the princess part of it, Cinder's part of it. But yeah, it was really good. And then I started and finished the last two in the Grisha trilogy, which the first one was, let me make sure I'm not mixing them up. Yeah, so the first one was Shadow and Bone. The second one was Siege and Storm. And then the third one was Ruin and Rising, all by Leigh Bardugo, out of the Grisha trilogy. And they're all really good. I really enjoyed the last two of that one. I think Ruin and Rising, I ended up reading it in like 2 evenings, so that's why I got more knitting done than I did sewing this week. And then currently I'm reading Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor, which is the second in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. So there's going to be Days of Blood and Starlight, and then Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I love all the covers on these. Covers are gorgeous. So the first two, the Shadow and Bone and Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I had borrowed from the library and decided that I liked them too much, so I actually purchased them. Okay, so I actually don't have anything else to talk about. If this is a little bit shorter, I can get it processed and posted sooner, so that's always good. And watch for the shop update. Half will be going, well, about half will be going up tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, or will have gone up, because like I said, this will probably be up past that point. It is Sunday, April 5th, so it'll be Sunday, April 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Daylight savings time, of course. And then the other half will go up tomorrow night at about 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Actually, no. we'll do that at 8 p.m. Eastern, because then I'm home from work. Yeah, so I hope you guys all have a good couple of weeks. I will hopefully have lots of knitting to show you here soon, again, and have a good, well, happy Easter for anybody who's celebrating, and I hope it's not snowing where you are, and that we head into a nice pleasant April here, and that we have April showers, not snow. Awesome. Thanks guys, I'll talk to you soon, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me through Ravelry, Instagram, or any other social media site. If you want to keep up with what I'm reading, a lot of it's young adult, you can actually find me on Goodreads as Nekozuki Yarns as well. And yeah, have a good couple weeks guys. Bye!